About a week ago, I made this video. If you were in charge of Rec Room, what specifically would you do that you think could save the game? You guys left so many comments on this video, and today we're going to go through, look at all the different suggestions that people had. I wish I could go through and like read them all. There's just so many, and there are a lot of repeats. A bunch of people said, bring back old bean body, and I do not understand why. I'd say like 30% of the comments. To me, my experience in the game between new bean and old bean is like non-existent. There is no difference in the experience, and from what I understand, it makes the game run better. I don't understand why people are obsessed with the old bean. I don't think it really made a difference. I think if you put a toggle in the game that says like switch to old bean, but like it did nothing, half the people would be quiet about it because they would just somehow be like, this is so much better, even though it doesn't really do anything. Another thing people said was like lower prices. I'm always for lowering the price, right? But at this point with where they are, it seems like making money is the motivation for all the stuff that they're adding in recently. And I don't mean that in a greedy way. What can we do to make more money? We're going to add in spray paint loot boxes, and we're going to add in this boosting system for the rooms. And like I said, I'm always down for lowering prices, but they are a business. They have to make money, and I understand why they're doing it. Again, these are just my thoughts. 3 words: bring back the weeklies. When the weeklies were taken away, I did not realize how much of an impact that would have. I was not somebody who came in and did the weeklies every week, but now that it's been gone for a while, yes, bring the weeklies back. Like, obviously there's enough people who liked it and wanted to do it, and it kept people coming back. And even if they're not the greatest of the skins, like, I remember them saying like, oh, we need to get rid of weeklies because having an old system and mixing with our new system or whatever. It's like, just make a new one. Like, just bring, seems like a thing that the community wants. You could bring it back. I also thought, like, again, you're trying to make money. Maybe you could somehow have like a boosted weekly. Like, you bring the weeklies back and you get this skin if you do all the challenges. But if you pay, I don't know, 1,000 tokens or something, you get a secondary like extra skin or something, just like, I don't know, people like the weeklies. From what I understand, they're spread thin, almost like the game is too big for the amount of employees that they have left. So I know they have to like pull resources very selectively. And maybe that's what we're seeing. Maybe that's what's really going on. It's like they do want to make improvements to the game, but they have to make sure that every new improvement they make brings in some kind of revenue. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. But maybe you could, and I know it would take work, maybe you could make the weeklies a UGC type of thing. Said, hey, UGC creator, can we take your existing UGC item, whatever it is, and turn that into a weekly? Give them a free week of room boost in order to give out your UGC for free if people do weekly challenges or something. A lot of people left comments that were like long lists of a bunch of things. I saw a bunch of people say optimization too. I know that they recently to another version of Unity or something like that. I guess maybe that's what they're trying to do right now, is fix like the bugs for that, because like you can see the mirror is broken back there. If I did green screen on the camera, it's broken. There's a lot of bugs, I suppose, when it came to switching, and maybe that's what they're doing right now, trying to figure all that out. Definitely optimize, because half of the frustration in doing Rec Room content is just getting into Rec Room and having a stable recording. Like if I take the streamer camera out in the rec center, it might work for 30 seconds. It might glitch immediately, or it might work for 30 seconds and then I'm gonna get kicked back to my dorm room, or like, there's constant kicking and crashing. And somebody said bring back 4th Friday and Rec Rocks type events. Those were pretty good, but they had to have a way bigger team to do that. But that's a good, raising the level cap from 50 to 150 again. That could be a Rec Room Plus feature or something. Oh man. And there was this constant contradiction in the comments of like, fix the voice moderation or remove moderation. There's like 2 different sides. There's a group of people who don't like the voice moderation or don't like moderation at all. And they're like, remove moderation, remove voice moderation. I can only assume that these are the people who want to say wackadoo stuff in the rec center, or want to really cause havoc, or want to have full freedom to say whatever they want and be trolls. That's my assumption of who would want that. But I can understand when it oversteps its bounds. Like when you know, you're just sitting there talking and you say a word that sounds similar to another word, and then you get like voice band or whatever. Like, I can understand that being an issue. On the other hand, though, there's another group of people who are like, better moderation, be better, do better. And maybe that's the same thing of like accidental, but it just seems like such a half of the comments are like, get rid of moderation. The other half of the comments are like, add moderation, or really just improve moderation. It's such a weird back and forth to see the comments. I think a lot of people are also on the AI hate train, which is understandable. Like, there's aspects of it that are not good and aspects of it that are good. Like Rumi, I'm fine with Rumi. I think that was a decent idea. Maker AI, I even think could have been a really good idea. It just needed, I think, more train. I mean, again, I'm not an expert on like training. Really felt like they were trying to have you pay in order to train it. And I guess like in a way, like ChatGPT gets away with that. But I guess because their product wasn't so unfinished. Because when I used it, it was really, really unfinished. But again, if it had had some more time in the oven, or if it had been maybe had more training, I don't know exactly how it works. You know what's interesting? I've discussed this with a couple creators, and I've discussed it with people at our meetups, the Discord meetups. There's a game that is somebody that they're kind of building right now that is kind of like Maker AI as a game. Some of the people who used to work at Rec Room now work there. I kind of looked it up, and it really feels like if Maker AI was an engine or something that you could use to create games. Add a dark mode? Dude, if you added a dark mode, hell yeah, dude, I'll take a dark mode. Some people were saying like they removed support for, you know, all of these other platforms like PlayStation VR. I mean, I feel like that's just them having to do it because, again, they're spread thin. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. There's a lot of people who said things like remove all the kind of brain rot rooms and stuff like that. I have to agree. There's usually very little on this game as the actual games that appeal to me. You can kind of attribute that to the audience that plays VR, which is very, at this point, Will Attack audience and Animal Company audience. It's all very, very kind of younger people that are into that kind of stuff. And while I agree and I dislike those type of games, I feel like the audience is there. Maybe if there was a specifically curated thing other than the featured rooms. And of course we have make a new quest. I agree. I mean, it feels like people enjoy the quest. I don't know if it just takes too much effort to make, if they have too little employees now. Maybe they could outsource a quest to somebody in the community. People are making stuff. I don't know what it's like to work at Rec Room. From what I've been told, they're stretched really thin. It really feels like when the layoffs happen, they're like, we're going to listen to the community more. And it really feels like so far, we really haven't had much of a listening that's occurred. I mean, a new paintball map is like the thing that I think people got, you know what I mean? But I don't know if it's really, I don't know if it's enough, man. And I hate to say that because I've been somebody who's just kind of tried to be not a downer. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comments.